Hello, and welcome back to Stone Soup.
The world according to Sci-Fi Geeks.
I'm still Rhiannon.
And I'm still Sandy. And we're going to talk about phrases we're sick of hearing.
Yes.
Some of these are political, but the first one's not really. The first one is, nobody needs an SUV.
You don't know what we need.
You don't know what everybody needs. You don't know the lifestyles of everybody in the whole entire world. You may have noticed our fuzzy wuzzy land sharks.
Yes. You think we can take those suckers to the vet in a compact? Not happening.
Or anywhere else. Sometimes we go to the DOGPARK, and we got to have space to get them in. Yes, we have an SUV. We have an Expedition. We also have a hybrid Escape. You know,
If we're just tooling around town, we take the Escape.
It gets, 30 miles to the gallon, but we can't fit the dogs in it anymore.
Nope.
We could when they were babies.
Yes.
But that was a
But they
long
were
time
small.
ago and a lot of size ago.
And also, our family, my dad does sound engineering. We are the road crew, and we have a whole bunch of equipment. I mean, a literal trailer
They're
full.
full.
And guess what? You need a big vehicle to pull it. And we want a little more room than a truck gives
There
us.
are statistics about how much weight a truck can pull. And an SUV is a truck. And it's my understanding that our Escape cannot safely pull our trailer. It just can't.
It can't pull the trailer I want.
It can pull the trailer we've got. My husband says it can't pull the trailer he wants. But be that as
Tricky
it
little
may,
thing there. But
I mean, our
anyway,
fully loaded trailer is heavy.
so if you have a fully loaded trailer, you need a car big enough to
Or a
pull
truck
it.
to pull it.
Or
That's the other thing. An SUV is just a truck that's been enclosed. You don't object to a van, but you object to a truck because it's been enclosed?
excuse me.
What? That makes no sense whatsoever. Now, moving right along to number 2.
Yes.
The rich don't pay their fair share of taxes. Don't ever use that phrase around me unless you can answer the questions, do you know how much they actually are paying right now? Why do you think that isn't fair? How much do you think would be fair? And so on and so forth.
If your definition of pay their fair share of taxes is pay so many taxes that all they have left at the end of the day is how much I make, no, that is not fair.
And what would be the point in striving to achieve if the government's going to slap you down and take every single thing you make?
Yes. And not to mention, you don't know what their expenses are.
Yeah, you don't. It's another one of those, people use it because they've heard it. They don't know what it means. But it makes them feel good because they don't make that much money.
Yep.
Well, neither do we. So what?
Yep. That doesn't mean that the rich need to pay more.
Yeah. I have the right to.
Yeah.
Yeah, up to a point, but your rights end where the other guys begin.
Yes.
You do not have the right to play your music so loud it shakes people's walls. And that has happened to me,
Literally.
literally.
We'll be sitting in our living room and some jerk in a truck goes by with the bass playing so loud the paintings on our walls rattle.
Well, your right to play your music that loud ends where my walls or my ears begin.
You do not have the right to force everybody else around you to listen to your music.
You
You want
wouldn't-
to play it really loud? Wear it with listen with headphones.
Headphones. Yes, you'll deafen yourself, but you're deafening yourself anyway. So why deafen me with you?
Yeah. You do not have the right to be an obnoxious jerk. It's called disturbing the peace, and surprise, it's against the law.
The thing with I have the right to is every right you have has a concomitant responsibility. You must use it properly. And bugging people just because you physically are able to is not your right.
No.
It never has been, and it never will be.
Your rights are wonderful things, but they are not sacrosanct. And your rights do not supersede anyone else's. I have the right to swing my arm, but it ends where someone
Right
else's nose
here.
begins.
They taught us that in school in my day.
And mention in one of my classes in school.
What happened to that?
Seriously.
Why do our kids now think they have blanket rights and never have heard the term responsibility? Oh, number 4 is a real winner. Somebody says something, they get criticized for it, and they come right back with, but I have freedom of speech.
Yeah, freedom of speech means that the government cannot punish you for criticizing it. It doesn't mean that no one else can call you a
You're a
jerk.
I mean, they have freedom of speech too. And they have the freedom to say, well, that was stupid, or you're a jerk, or whatever.
Freedom of speech is about not being imprisoned for saying, I think the government is full of jerks. Full
Or
of
I think the government
bastards.
sucks.
That's
After
freedom
all,
of speech.
if we couldn't do that, how can we run a campaign? Because the people who are running against the people who are currently in office have to be able to say they screwed up. And this is how they screwed up.
But as I once saw
And they're
this phrase
jerks.
online, and I think it's a brilliant phrase, freedom of speech is not freedom from criticism. You can say anything you want, and I can look you right in the eye and go, that's stupid. You're free to say what you said, and I'm free to say what I said. That's how it works. Everybody has it.
Number 5, the courts are thwarting the will of the people. In the state where we live, let me finish. In the state where we live, we have the proposition system where people want to pass something, pass a new law or whatever. They get a proposition, get a petition, put the proposition at the top, get enough signatures, they can get it on the ballot, and then the whole state gets to vote for it. And many, many, many is the time when a thing has passed, hello land sharks, only to be knocked down in the courts. And that's when they start in the newspaper, on the TV. The courts are thwarting the will of the people. It is not the job of the courts to uphold the will of the people.
The court's job is to uphold the
law, the Constitution, both the state constitution and the feds. And if somebody has got a proposition through that is contrary to either of the constitutions,
it is the court's job
to knock it down. And if you're bugged by that, talk to the people who drafted the proposition in the first place and didn't make sure that it was upholdable and enforceable.
Yes.
There's just nothing more waste of time than passing an unenforceable law.
And frankly, if you think that because it's the will of the people is the reason that anything should be upheld, then you don't understand what you're actually saying. Because if enough people say, I think public lynching should be legal, should they be?
Or I think it should be legal to lynch this particular group of people.
Because I don't like them.
Because I don't like them. Yep. Yeah. We'll pass a law that says it's legal to execute gay people for being gay. And then who's next?
Yeah. Illegal immigrants?
Loudmouth broads that shout all the time?
I told you talk too much.
Oh, look who's talking. Anyway.
But basically, no, will of the people is not enough. There's a reason the government is set up the way it is. Corrupt as it is, those rules were put in place for everyone's protection.
Yeah. Sometimes from
the will
government.
Of the people.
From the will of the people, and sometimes from the government. We are supposed to be, we hope, a country of laws, ruled by laws. Yeah, okay, it has to go through people because, well, how else? But still, the will of the people is a good thing up to a point.
Yes.
But part of our whole system is that we must be protected from from the tyranny of the majority. Of the majority simply deciding they don't like something and voting it into law. No, that is bad.
Yes. That's how Nazi Germany got started. The majority said, they're bad people. Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Think about it.
And
the minority couldn't do anything about it.
Because they were the minority and they were on the list.
Yep.
And finally, and last, it's for the children. This one bugs the hell out of me. It's usually used when somebody wants to get something passed. A proposition or a new law or whatever, but something that they have to get the populace to vote for. It's for the children, or it's for education. Because how on earth can you possibly say no to either one of those? Read these things and read them carefully.
It's great when it really is for the children, but people will say it's for the children for things that have nothing to do with children or education. But because they know if they say that, people say, well, it's for the children. Vote. No.
The other thing is, even if it is for the children, you must read it very carefully. There are balances to everything when you're passing a law. How much is it going to cost? Who's going to suffer if this thing goes through? Yes. How exactly is it for the children?
How
is it for all the children, or is it for this group of children at the expense of that group of children? and so on and so forth. These things have to be looked at as a whole. And just because it's for the children isn't enough.
No.
Okay. And that's all we have on our list for right now.
No.
But we may revisit this topic. The topic
Okay.
being, phrases we hate to hear.
They get overused by people who don't actually understand what they're saying
Saying.
half the time.
Yeah.
Just when you want to have an argument, want to debate something, really think about what you're saying and what it means. Because if you use a phrase just because you've heard it before without knowing what it means, your argument almost immediately defaults to the wrong area. I didn't phrase
And the
that
other
very well,
thing-
but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you meant. The thing is, you got the internet. You can find all the information you need to back up your argument
On pretty much anything.
on pretty much anything.
Oh, the internet.
And if you discover in your research that your argument is wrong, let it go. There's nothing wrong with learning that you were mistaken about something.
Yes.
So,
One thing that these comments and what you were just saying, connecting into each other, basically people need to learn to, as you say, let it go when they realize, oh, wait, I made a mistake. Because clinging to that phrase and that wrong statement when you know it's wrong just makes you look like a fool.
it really does. Well, you don't just look like a fool. You are a fool. Because now you know you're wrong.
But because it doesn't go along with what you wanted to believe,
Yeah.
well, you do what you can.
Yeah, not as fiery as we might have liked, not as funny as when we were rehearsing. These things get lost when you're in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Sorry. So,
Still, think about it, folks.
yes, just think before you speak. And don't use other people's catchphrases when you don't know what they mean.
Yeah.
So, thank you for coming. Bye-bye.
Bye.